to Mr. UFC Vegas Fight Club TV. I am Kyle, your host. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the bet review show for UFC Fight Night 138, Oezdemir vs. Smith. We're going to get into our best bet play that we had for purchase, also our free play that we had, and as well as our overall feeling on this card. Also, the fact that I will be attending UFC 230 next weekend. Very excited for that. I know it's kind of been a mess with who's going to be fighting. I'm not even sure at this point. I just know I will be in the building. I was at UFC 217 last year at Madison Square Garden, which was arguably one of the top 5 events of all time. So you win some, you lose some when it comes down to attending these events. You never know what you're getting, but hopefully at this point, what is left of that event will stick, will stay, and I will definitely have some footage from that event next week once we come back and able to maybe edit and get some good videos and good clips down and put it out here for you guys on the bet review show. So what we're going to do now, we will first talk about our best bet play. Our best bet play was on Volkan Oezdemir to defeat Anthony Smith. And listen, this one here, you know what? It was a frustrating fight to watch. Really the thing that I liked about it, and those that made the purchase could take a look at it. The thing that I didn't like, the thing I did like actually about Oezdemir was his stand-up, was his kickboxing, was his striking, was his power. I just thought he was a lot more technical than anything that Smith has seen and anything that Smith can really present back to Oezdemir. And really, the leg kicks was something that we did talk about. I love the fact he's going to utilize those leg kicks, going to really be able to soften up Anthony Smith and make him tired. Make him tired, weaken his power, weaken his energy, weaken his cardio, and go further. And the one thing that I was really hoping for was that Oezdemir would not come out guns blazing. He would take his time. He would work on the outside. Although Smith is very long and his reach advantage and his size, and he's going to be able to use that. But he doesn't move as well in the cage as Volkan does. Volkan's very good at cutting angles, moving around the cage a little bit. Where more you've got Smith, who's a little bit more straight and forward. He'll go forward and he'll go back. He doesn't really know how to work the angles as good as some of these other guys. There's no doubt that Smith is good. He proved it that night. But I just didn't see as much from him. And I thought that the only real big downside was, would Smith try to take Volkan to the ground? That was going to be the big question mark there. And I thought no. I thought that he was going to be able to, they were going to be able to battle up top, and no one was really going to take this to the ground. So first 2 rounds went exactly kind of how I was hoping for. And keeping Oezdemir not looking to just exert his energy and go out there and just get that big knockout. Take his time. And he was doing that. In spots, he was doing that. Of course, he's going to go out there and fire big shots off when he has to. But it was really working out, I thought, very much in Oezdemir's favor. A lot of success he was having early in that fight. Going into that 3rd round, you could just tell, although they both were exhausted, you could tell Oezdemir was more on the downturn, in my opinion. Although they both needed to be basically picked up off the canvas after the fight. I mean, they were both exhausted. But Oezdemir there's definitely a wall there that he hit. Because I think that Smith was a little bit more tired from just the pounding he took from leg kicks, as not as much as it was with cardio. I would think it was more just his legs were chewed up. They even showed some pictures of his legs after the fight, and yesterday I saw some. So he really was taking a lot of damage there. But Oezdemir just went from having energy to nothing and was easily taken down. And once he got to the ground, that's just such a horrible. His skill set on the ground, Oezdemir's, is just not that great. I mean, it's something that everybody knows. It's something that it's not. Everyone knows. Hey, he's got that skill set to stand up. Did not see that Smith was going to be able to really push like that and get him to the ground. But when he was tired, he took him right to the ground. Oezdemir gave up his back, and instantly this fight was not going to be going much further than that. The way that he looked, and I give a lot of credit to Smith. I think really the way that Smith put this together, he took a lot of damage, but kept pushing. Kept moving forward. He took some big shots on the chin and kept moving forward. And that was something that I knew, everyone knows they both actually have very good chins for guys who throw big shots. But he really impressed me the way that he was able to. A lot of people are saying, it wasn't the greatest performance from Smith, but I think this was a different fight for Smith. I think Smith really, he fought smart. He did what he had to do to get the win. And that's most important. But I think Oezdemir, those first 2 rounds, I really liked the fact that he was going to be able to just outstrike Smith early and hopefully land that big one to put it away. That was kind of the path that I was looking for in this fight, but he took some damage and he just kept moving, and even with these leg kicks, just a tough kid to keep pushing forward. Smith does get that victory, so now that puts our best bet for the year at 25 wins, 11 losses, plus 22.23 units for the year. We are now back at 70%. We were just starting to creep up into trying to get into that mid-70s for winning percentage. And again, no best bets are over -190, so always looking for those value plays. Here just was not the one that hit. We hit 4 straight. We are 4-1 out of our last 5. So again, it's all about money management. We want to make sure that we are placing comfortable amounts of money to continually over the time use our handicapping abilities to beat those bookies. So we did not cash in on that one, and again, we are 70% and plus 22.23 units for the year. Now, our other play that we had in this card was on Andre Sukumta to defeat Jonathan Martinez, and in this fight here, this was the free play. We bet on Andre Sukumta, and this one here, you know what, the big thing, and a lot of people were talking that they really liked Martinez, and I rightfully so, because, he's a big question mark, and he was getting some nice plus odds against a guy that's had a question mark when it comes down to just fighting IQ in Sukumta. So there was definitely some things going on there that putting it together. But taking a look at this fight here and not really spending too much time on it, the big part here was just the competition level was going to be very different from what Martinez has seen to Sukumta. Sukumta, since he's been in the UFC, has fought some tough opponents, and he's 1-3, but had some split decisions in there and some questionable losses. So there was a lot of things that I liked about Sukumta, although it was very hard to like him when you take a look and you rewatch the fight with O'Malley, where O'Malley basically, if he just didn't take O'Malley down, he probably would have won the fight. And O'Malley actually is a pretty solid fighter. So interesting to see how that all panned out. But Andre Sukumta does get us that victory. We do cash in on our free bet play. So had a 1-1 night last night, Saturday night, and did not get the victory on the best bet play. But we will continue to move forward. And again, we got to keep moving forward. You're always good as your last one is, and we can't be too excited when we win one. We can't be too down when we lose one. But I got to say, when I lose one, it's a lot lower than I go up on the highs of the winning, just because I feel like I should always win. So there you have it, guys. We do have our prediction show coming out. That will come out in the next day or so for UFC 230. And again, I'm attending that event. Very excited about it. Looking forward to placing some bets on that event, getting back on the winning track. And if you have not yet done so, do not forget to subscribe, head kick the bell icon, get involved with Fight Club TV. And this is Mr. UFC Vegas, Fight Club TV.